Hello everyone, this is part 2 of my Doodle Flowers project that I shared on Sunday. I know some of you are really eager to see what I do to this next. This was the basic background that I created, and I'll leave the link to the video showing how I made this in the description box below. But I said I would be back for a part 2 to add some doodling and details, and I can't wait to get started. Well, as I often do with backgrounds and my masterboards, I often take them off to my local printers and have them photocopied, sometimes onto mixed media or even watercolour paper. I've had this one photocopied onto watercolour paper, and you can see the join here because I have joined 2 backgrounds together, and I'll eventually end up cutting this down. I've got a couple of ideas for how I want to use this, but you know, when you have it printed onto mixed media paper or watercolour paper, it picks up the wonderful texture and you would never tell the difference, but it's just easier to work on. And I've had this printed on the Arteza Expert watercolour pad. You could just as easily use mixed media paper and that would work fine. I've done that in the past. So let's grab some supplies and let's start doodling. I want to use my Artex acrylic marker set to add some mark making to these, and since the review I did a couple of weeks ago, I do want to say that there is some slight bleeding from some of the darker colours. I thought these were permanent, but some of the darker colours do bleed when you add water to them slightly, so just be aware of that. So let's have a look and see what colours we can choose. I am going to start off, I think, with this colour here, and I'm going to start by using the fine nib, and all I'm going to do is just add some details around the tips of my flowers. And this is just to, you know, give them some interest, make them multi-dimensional. And I'm being really, really loose and scribbly about this. Holding my pen really lightly as well. You could use your Posca paint pens. You could use gel pens. Gel pens would be absolutely perfect for this, but gel pens are not permanent either. Now that doesn't really worry me. But, you know, just be aware if you're planning on adding sort of wet media over the top, like gel medium, which would make everything spread. So I am just going to just continue adding scribbles here like this. I'm also going to add some lines. You see, what I like about these pens is that because they're acrylic, the colours sort of mimic the pastels that I've got going on here as well, and I like that. I want this to be really subtle. You see, that's just absolutely lovely. And again, what we can do is just add some dots around the outside as well and just make this really whimsical. And I'm going to do the same with the other 2 flowers here. Have I got this in camera shot? So this one here and this one here as well. I'm just going to do exactly the same thing. So let me just show you. So just adding scribbly lines just to define those petals. You can already see the difference with these ones here, just already looking much more defined, and I will add more to these as well. Next up, I'm going to use this Payne's Grey indigo blue type colour, and I'm going to start off with the blue flowers, and again just holding the pen really lightly, just adding scribbly lines, and you want a really light touch with this. Just coming in here just with some loose scribbly lines. I'm going to go all the way around the petals. The looser the better. Let's just finish this one off and then I'll show you what I'm going to do with the centre. And I find it easier to keep twisting my paper around as well. That's just easier for me. And then again, holding the pen really lightly, I'm just going to add some stamen type flowers. And again, just a few dots, being random about this. I don't want dots on all of them. Here we go, just a few dots here and there. Maybe some more scribbly lines on that one there as well. Just really light touch, don't go in too heavy, and you know, just a few dots again here and there. And I'll do exactly the same thing with these two here. Now with these, what I want to do is try and make these into double petal flowers. So like this. I think that looks really nice. So let's, and again, just, you know, the trick is just being really loose and scribbly about this, not being heavy-handed about this in any way. I can go over the edge, that's absolutely fine, just because I need to cut off the rim where I've had it photocopied. And that is normal, by the way. When you have something photocopied, you will always end up with a rim around your design, and there really isn't anything you can do about that. This one here, we've only got a single one, but that's absolutely okay. And just look how much more defined that looks. And again, we can just add some stamen in the middle, just some fine scribbly details. Do them at different lengths as well. Just really hold your pen loosely when you're doing this, so that you don't end up with really heavy lines. And again, let's do the same with this one here. Let's start off with this flower here. So again, just adding really loose and scribbly lines, going over 2 petals at a time. And again, to these, I'll add more details in different colours as well. Now, of course, we can add some dots to the centre of these flowers here as well. And next, let's just focus on these 2 flowers here. Start off with this one here. We've got quite a lot of dark in the tips of the flowers. And so I am just going to add some of this beautiful fuchsia pink here, all the way around the outside. And then with these ones here, what I'm going to do is just come in with some lines on the tips of these to start off with. So just keep adding these scribbly lines, and if you want your petals more square, you can define these. You can turn these into any shape you like. I'm going to leave that be. And with this one here, what I'm going to do is define the petals in exactly the same way, but this time I'm just going to come up from the centre of the flower, just so that it looks a little bit different. So I'm just going to go around these ones here as well. No right or wrong way of doing this, and there are no mistakes either. Just be really loose and scribbly about it. Now with these ones here, I just want to add more of a dark colour here. This is more of a russet brown, but it just goes really well. This is just lovely. So this is a great way of defining these ones here. And making these stand out again, just really loose and scribbly. And you can go over these a couple of times. I'll go around once and then go over it again as well, just so that I get more of those random loose scribbly lines. I love doing this. This is the best part for me as well. You know, creating the backgrounds is really fun, but embellishing them and just going to town with details, just, you know, is the finishing touch and just what brings them to life. And then we can just add a few details around the center, and again, you know, we can add maybe some white or something in a second. I'll do the same with these 2 here as well. And then finally back to these smaller flowers here, which I think are the last ones left to add some scribbly details to. And then we can really start adding details to these in a second. And just look what a difference that has made. Let me just show you what the original piece looks like, so that you can see what the difference is already. It's gone from looking beautiful but flat to just having all these gorgeous details, and it will just get better and better. Let's see if I can get this Posca paint pen to work. I must admit, I find the thicker Posca paint pens easier to activate. I don't find that the white pen in this set here, the Artex set, is very vibrant. So I'm using my Posca paint pens. The really fine ones just don't work for me. I've got 5 or 6 of those, and none of them work. So I'm just going to go around here with really scribbly lines, as you can see. Not overthinking this in any way. Wavy scribbly lines in the centre as well, just to add more detail. Want these to be really nice and whimsical. And I hope this is giving you lots of useful tips as to how to go about this. Not be scared of what you're doing, not be frightened of ruining what you're doing either. And let's add some dots here and there as well. And I'll do the same with the other blue ones. Now, I have to say, just as I did with the pens in the past, I am struggling to get these to work properly, but I'm trying to persevere. I am going to add some dots on the darker areas here, just like this. I keep having to pump the pen. I end up with blobs and splodges as well, and I'm working on my background here so that I don't spoil my piece. I am not a fan of Posca paint pens, I have to say, but isn't that just looking absolutely gorgeous? And again, we can just add loose scribbly lines around the other flowers as well. And I think I'll resort to a white gel pen to add some further detail. But I'm just going to keep playing. I'm resorting to a jelly roll pen because I just find Posca paint pens so unbelievably frustrating. So just adding more fine detail with a jelly roll pen as well, and you can add as few or as many details as you like with these. Just keep going. Just so much fun. You know, the detail makes all the difference. Just look how gorgeous this looks. As I've said, just be aware that the jelly roll pen is water reactive, so you won't want to seal this with gel medium or anything like that, but you could use a spray fixative, I think. So I'm just going to keep going, and in fact I will try it with the spray fixative just to be sure, because I've got two of these, so we'll try it with one, and I'll let you know if it all goes horribly wrong. Well, I am absolutely thrilled to bits with how this has turned out. Just look how gorgeous it is, and let me just remove that one and pop it next to this one here. So this was the unfinished piece. Just look at the difference that a little bit of doodling makes. It just completely transforms them. Just so beautiful to look at. As I said I would. I did try using a spray fixative on these. I used the Rust-Oleum Crystal Clear Protective Coat. This was in the clear matte finish. I didn't get any bleeding whatsoever, so you know, no problems with that. I did both pieces. Where are they? Where's the other one as well? So no bleeding from either of them. I did take them outside into the fresh air as well, and sprayed with plenty of ventilation. So the million-dollar question, what am I going to do with these? There are just so many ideas. I must admit, I have taken these off to the photocopiers again this morning, so that's what the photocopied version looks like. The colouring is slightly different, but still beautiful, and that's okay. So again, I would need to chop this in half and trim off the border. You will always get a border when you take it off to the printers. That's quite normal. I also wanted to see what it would look like if I had them shrunk down to 4 of these to one A4 page, letter size page, and this is what that looks like as well. Down just so that you can see what they look like. They are just absolutely beautiful. Now I think these larger ones would make the most beautiful postcards. So you know, you could write a note on the left hand side, draw the line, classic line down the middle, address on the right hand side, and some beautiful pretty postage stamps along the top. Who wouldn't love to receive one of those? You could also do the same with these smaller ones as well. These would also make the most beautiful card toppers. Because this is in a smaller format, you could also cut these in half again to make smaller greetings cards or artist trading cards. Just so many ways to use them. They'd make the most wonderful journaling cards for your journals as well. You could also make tags from the larger ones. I mean, you know, just the possibilities are just absolutely endless. I love these. I really hope that you've enjoyed this two-part series and seeing it come together, and you know, seeing the difference between this, which was the basic design, to this, which has completely, in my opinion, transformed it. I hope it's filled you with inspiration and given you, you know, lots and lots of ideas, and I hope you'll give it a try. So do let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up if you enjoyed this mini series. Don't forget to subscribe as well if you want notification of future videos and ideas. But most importantly, thanks for watching. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.